I love your flair for the dramatic.
Speak again, knave, and I'll punish you.
Please do.
Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring the Joker. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded, because a lot of things may have changed since then, and if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Ace of Knaves Joker to the test. The Joker, guys, was released on the 21st of June 2022, and ever since then, of course, he wasn't part of any store for souls. I believe he was only available in a store of the Crypt. With that said, let's take a look at his stats. His attack is 58,212, which is the 7th highest in the game. The hit points, they are 111,306, the 5th highest in the game. The toughness is 54,810, the 4th highest in the game, and the recovery is 58,968, the 3rd highest in the game. As you can see, the Joker is almost everywhere in top 5, so definitely we can conclude that he has pretty decent stats. So at the end of the day, his high score here isn't a surprise. He gets 24.4 out of 28 possible points. Special one of the Joker, guys, is called Harley Quinn of Hate. It looks awesome, to be honest with you, and it feels awesome to do. This is what you need to know about it. First thing first, the ability can be completely blocked by the enemy. It has Cripple as the buff. It can be cast from distance. It is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the single tap rectangle as mini game. And one last thing about his special one, it will always connect after the combo ender with the cane, and it will almost never connect after the combo ender when Joker actually kicks a toy. So you have to be careful. If you have the combo ender with the cane, you can do it and then follow by special one. If you have the other combo ender ready, you have to be careful, because if you do it and then follow by special one, the enemy will most probably block it. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 22,994, which is the 25th highest in the game, and the maximum damage is 45,988, the 17th highest in the game. Once again, special one of Joker can be completely blocked with the opponent. It has Shield Break as the buff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 3 mini hits, and it has the single tap rectangle as mini game. So for his special one, Ace of Knaves the Joker is going to get 9.5 out of 13 possible points. Special 2 of the Joker is called Capo, and this is what you need to know about it. First thing first, the ability is completely unblockable because it is a grapple. It has Stun as the buff, and by the way, you can lock your enemies in a stun loop using the Joker Special 2. All you require is 2 or 3 pieces for power generation, and you can use 2 of his cards to generate additional power, the poison card and the card that deals electrical damage over time. If you use either of those, it will more or less guarantee that the enemy will never escape your stun loop. In addition, the ability cannot be cast from distance, unfortunately, since it is a grapple. It is lethal, it consists of 4 mini hits, and it has the multi-tap circle as mini game. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the Joker Special 2 is 63,837, that's quite high and ranks 9th in the all-time ranking. The maximum damage is 114,971, the 15th highest in the game. Once again, the Joker Special 2 is completely unblockable, it has Stun as the buff, it cannot be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 4 mini hits, and it has the multi-tap circle as mini game. So for his Special 2, the Joker is going to get 14.7 out of 19 possible points. The fatal blow of the Joker is called Smile, and it is absolutely awesome. In fact, in my opinion, it's one of the very best fatal blows in the game. This is what you need to know about it. First thing first, it has slow as the buff, which is a little bit unfortunate and underwhelming. After all, slow is not a horrible debuff, but let's face it, there are much better ones. For instance, you can prefer to have cripple or bleed or fire, or when it comes to the buffs you prefer to have shield. You get it, right? Anyways, apart from the fact that the ability has slow as the buff, it can be cast from distance, which is quite cool. When it comes to damage, the damage of the Fatal Blow is 139,657, which is the 9th highest in the game. Once again, the Fatal Blow has slow as the buff and it can be cast from distance. So for his Fatal Blow, the Joker is going to get 3.2 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets for his special attacks adds up to 27.4 out of 36 possible. There isn't much that I can say about the basic attacks of the Joker. Probably the best way to describe them is just to say that they are slightly above average. In the general case, he isn't really a super fast puncher, and his chaining is almost non-existent. The only saving grace of his basic attacks is the fact that after the combo ender with the cane, the Joker can spam his special one, and more or less that's it. For his special 2 it doesn't matter, because it is a grapple anyways. So at the end of the day, I decided to give him just 6.5 out of 10 possible points for his basic attacks. So, it is not going to be a huge surprise if I tell you that the passive of the Joker card trick is the bread and butter of the character, like it is the case for many other cards named K-Mobile. Since the description of this passive is super long, I'm just going to give you a short version of it. In short, the Joker has 3 different decks that do different things, and each deck consists of 3 cards. If he uses those 3 cards, he cannot use this deck again until the end of the fight. The first deck is called Venom deck. It basically intoxicates the opponent, it deals damage over time effect, and the affected opponent has a 50% chance to miss their attacks. So in a way, he is kind of blinded. Now what you need to understand about this damage over time effect, and basically it applies for all Joker damage over time effects, is that they are not actually damage over time effects. It's getting complicated, but at the end of the day, it does damage over time, but it's not considered damage over time. It is considered a regular basic hit. So in a way, they can literally hit, they can critically hit. If you have a certain type of equipment, for instance, like the Jinsei hat, they can apply shield break and any other debuff you can think of. So again, we are talking about basic attack damage. They're affected by little hit chance, by critical hit chance, you name it. And the Venom deck, it gives you power in the process. It works as if you are hitting the enemy, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is the main reason why I don't understand why his dots don't work against bosses, because after all, since they rely on critical chance, on lethal chance, since they rely on his level in fusion, the damage over time won't be great against bosses if he's low fusion, and definitely they're not percentage based like the bleed. Remember, the bleed, fire, poison, they're based on the percentage, so they're taking fixed percentage of the enemy health each second. The dot of the Joker doesn't do that, it just takes the damage it is supposed to deal on a regular basic hit. So it's a little bit complicated, but it's well to know that. The second deck is called the Buzzer deck, and it is quite awesome. It has the same damage over time effect like the Venom deck, however the damage is significantly higher. But what is good to mention here is that it is an electrical damage, so it can trigger stuff like the Hurricane, which basically means the Joker becomes one of the very best boss killers at Fusion 0. Just apply the Hurricane with Fujin and then apply the Buzzer card and start spamming your special 2. For one thing, the Buzzer card will periodically tick and trigger the Hurricane, dealing a percent of maximum health of the boss damage in the process. And for the second thing, you will be able to gain a lot of power in the process, because every single tick gives you power the same way like the Venom deck, and at the end of the day you can spam that forever. It is absolutely gorgeous. And the last deck is the Grinning deck. It is the only deck that doesn't have the Joker's damage over time effect. Instead, it has chance to break the weapon or the armor of the enemy, and it disables its special attacks, which is pretty awesome, and it can be significantly useful if your Joker is low fusion and your team is low fusion, weak in general, and you're fighting some difficult stage in towers. And the last part of the Joker's passive, guys, I have to be honest, it is super underwhelming, and in my opinion it has been designed so that the Joker can be annoying in towers and so that the Joker can be annoying as a boss, because the last part of his passive states: each time his teammate dies, Joker gets excited and restores 25% of his maximum health. Now, with certain exceptions, for instance, if you're using Noob Cybot and stuff like this, you don't want to take advantage of this passive, because in the general case, in 99% of the cases, you don't want to get any of your team killed. So in a way, yeah, this part of his passive sucks. However, the general case is the Joker has one of the best passives in the game, so he definitely deserves 20 out of 20 points in his passive. He's a Nomad, actually the only character that is Nomad apart from the Black Dragon Erin Black, so he gets 6 points for classes and 0 points for tagging attack. Alright guys, so is the Joker a great card? The short answer to this question is yes, he is. The long answer is he's a great card because he has excellent special 1, excellent special 2, incredibly good passive. On top of everything, he's a Nomad, which means that he can join any class, so he can be easily supported. Now, the drawback of the Joker is that his basic attacks are not really that great, but it's not the end of the world at the end of the day, because he can do stun loops, his passive works even at low fusion, so he can kill bosses with Hurricane, he can lock enemies again in stun loop, he can break equipment, he can do a lot of things. And remember that his card that applies cripple cannot be resisted, so there is no resistance that can save you from the cripple, which is pretty awesome and pretty annoying to face at the same time. When it comes to my personal preference, I don't hate the Joker, but he's not definitely one of my favorite characters. I do like using him from time to time, so definitely I will give him solid 2 out of 3 subjective points. And with those 2 points, the Joker scores 86.3, and we can label him as an amazing character. On our current rankings, he shares the 9th place with Dark Fate Terminator, who also scored 86.3. He's just above Injustice 2 Raiden, and he's just below MK11 Rain. And now it is the time to see what you guys think about this character. Alright guys, so it is time to see what you think about this character. As usual, I asked you in Discord, please rank him 1 to 10, and 318 of you answered. As usual, if you want to take part in further votings, you're welcome to join our Discord server. You can find the link in the description of the video. Anyways, out of those 318 people, 128 voted with a 9, which is the most common mark, and the least common mark is a 4. 2 people voted with a 4 for the Joker. Anyways, the most important thing here is that your average score is 8.6, which is incredible, because if I decide to round it up, actually I don't know how do I call it, but if I decide to multiply this score by 10 and compare it with the score with the Matrix, we have identical results. I have never seen that ever before, because according to the Matrix, the Joker is 86.3 and he ranks as an amazing character, and according to you, he ranks 86.3. It is absolutely crazy. Never before such thing has happened in the ranking series. Anyways, in your rankings, guys, the Joker is 5th. He is actually just below Lizard Baraka, who has 1 point advantage. You can currently see the top 5 best characters in the game as of today. Keep in mind that only 20 characters has been reviewed so far, and yeah, this is incredible, because for the first time ever, once again, the Matrix and your vote completely matched. On that note, guys, I'm going to close the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, comment down below. That's super important, because such type of videos take a lot of time, and at the end of the day, they don't give huge revenue. So once again, if you enjoy, make sure to give me a like, comment, anything will help. Take care, guys, and have an amazing rest of your day.
Ha